Hi, and welcome back to Fiercely Blessed. I'm Nadine Ramos, and I am here today with an exciting guest. I have Miss Angela White with me, and we are going to just go over her inspirational story and journey that she's on today with hopes to inspire every viewer watching. So, Angela White, thank you so much for being on with me. I know you have been sharing your spiritual journey and a major transformation that's taking place in your life. And I just want to commend you on sharing such a personal decision with the world. And thank you again for impacting so many people watching with just by you telling your truth, right? And so I am honored to have you on today. And so thank you so much again for being on with me.
No, of course. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I did watch one of your interviews recently, and I loved how you said, because I feel like Hollywood especially is shocked by your decision and then the transformation that comes with that,
Right.
right? And so watching your interviews and how you mentioned you got sick and tired of being sick and tired, I relate so well with that
Mhm.
because that was my situation and how I surrendered to God. I was like just sick and tired of being sick and tired, right? And so
Seriously.
I wanted to know what exactly was that for you? What were you just like totally fed up with to allow you to make that decision?
Just everything that was kind of going on in my life at the time. The company that I kept, certain business moves with making money and earnings, lawsuits, just like negativity, me being so like down, like putting myself down because of situations that had happened in the past, and in this industry, that's how you kind of like make your money and whatnot. So, and it's crazy because if people are talking bad about you or talking down upon you and it's not true, it like really like affects you. It doesn't matter like how strong you try to be and all this and all that, but it like at the end of the day, it does hinder. That's why like one of the another reasons why I never really like spoke up for myself when people would talk bad about me. I was just like let it just be. But I was like, not no more. I'm not letting that happen no more. I'm gonna start speaking up for myself. Mm-mm.
I love that. And I know I can't imagine what that must be like for you, like living in the spotlight and having opinions, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's opinions and
Oh,
coming at you as like they live with you, like they know you behind closed doors. People have so much to say, and it's right. You're right. No matter how thick our skin is, words hurt. People just don't realize the infliction of pain that they cause on other people.
exactly.
Good for you. I know you got baptized recently, and I'm a strong believer that our strength comes from God.
Yeah.
And I don't know you, but I can see this strength and glow on you, and I know that that's God in your life.
Yes. You know what? Actually, like next month on my birthday, it'll be 1 year since I was baptized. But this was my first time ever being baptized in 34 years. Like I never got baptized as a kid. So this is something that I wanted to do, and along with like working out and changing my diet and sobriety. And I thank God because it's not like it was something that happened that made me do it. To where so now I have to do it. Like I got in trouble and this happened, so you got to go to AA or like this, you know what I mean? It's just always like, well, why'd you do it? It's because I got caught, you know what I mean? Type of thing. But it was
Yes,
like my journey is not even like that. I'm just doing it because,
right.
it's just time, and I feel like God picks the most people that already going through like their situations and things like that because that's just like how it is. That's how it is in the Bible. You know what I mean?
I think he saves us from ourselves, and we don't realize the path that we're choosing to go down. And I love that you said it didn't have to take a DUI, it didn't have to take a crazy moment
Right.
for you to say, you know what, this is my sick and tired moment. But it took God to literally tug on your heartstrings, bring that awareness that he's in your life to you for you to then say, you know what? I choose. I This is my decision and I'm not going to wait for something terrible to happen. I choose now. And he has such an amazing way of catching our attention. I love that about him where it's like,
That is true. That is true. You know, and just for me, like the whole, it's not just like only spiritual, like it's kind of like a 360 kind of with everything.
yes,
But I mean, God is everything, so it's like mind, body, and soul.
yes,
But it's like you have to put in the work also.
right,
It's not like, oh, you just get baptized and that's it. Like you have to put in the work. You gotta read your Bible. Like you gotta, go to church and do the right thing and be kind to people and really take those steps, you know what I mean, to hit like towards his light. That's just really what it is. And a lot of times people they don't want to give up certain things, but it's like, baby, you have to give it up. You know what I mean? So you can be blessed because everything is like led by faith, and that's just how it is.
yes. I love that you said that because with the decision comes now our part, and this is where it gets hard. People think like, okay, once you find your relationship with God, things are like, oh, the grass is green, the birds are
Uh-uh.
chirping. This is when it really gets serious, right? And it's just like
Yeah,
more trials coming our way, more than
yeah. Just
before.
it's yeah. Here comes the storm. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Because like I don't like that. So it's like just be prepared.
yes,
And the thing about it is, you might have to still go through whatever it is that you're going through, but God is going to be with you. So that's the most important part. People think, oh, nothing's supposed to happen to you after you get baptized or you do this and you do that. That's not the case.
right,
We're still like flesh, so we still going to have to go through our trials and tribulations.
yes,
And it's just sticking with it and staying the core,
yes.
like stay on the right path, stay the core. Because honestly, we really don't have if you really think about it, that much time here, like on Earth. Like, okay, if somebody is, just say, okay, 75, that's only like 75 summers. Like, that's only 75 winters. Like, I'm already 35, so let me do the math. Like, hold
Yes,
on, something ain't, yeah.
I love that.
I'm like, I got to get my life together,
Mhm.
because this is like something this is eternal.
Yes, I love
And
that.
then, and then it's that, and then also too, like the seeds that come after you.
Mhm, mhm.
You want to like, when you do leave this earth, like you do want to leave a nice
Yeah,
legacy just about yourself and teach your kids too.
mhm.
Because it doesn't stop just with you. And that's where all the trauma and all the extra stuff comes from, all the pain and the hurt. So it's like, if I could like put a halt to it, then that's just what I'm going to do.
Oh, I love that. There's so much power in what you just said because I relate in so many ways. Sobriety
Yeah.
for me, that was key. And that was recent, also a year that I decided not even a sip of wine because
Same.
it was like
Mm-hmm.
socially accepted. And although, in my walk with Christ, you have other Christians drinking, but their generational curses weren't the same as mine. My generational curses come from my parents being addicted. And so I went through some really hard moments because of my parents' choice of sin and seeing that, like my eyes open differently where I can say, I
Right.
don't want my kids to face that. And so it stops with me the
Mm-hmm.
same way you just said, I'm going to cut it off so I leave a legacy for my children, right? And that
Yeah.
live a
Right.
different life.
Exactly. Because they pick up, like, you know what I mean? They pick up on everything, whether you think that they're watching or not. Like it is all like in the DNA, and
100%.
just have to literally lead by example. It's like less talk. If anybody knows me, like it's action. Like if I think of something, it's like it's go.
Yes.
Like I'm gonna do it and be like, yo, look at this. You know what I mean? I don't like talk about stuff. I don't do. It's just like if I think about something, and it comes to me because people say it's like intuition. It's like it is. It's called intuition on earth, but it's really God because
Right.
that's how he made us as creators. So that's how you get these, you know what I mean?
Yes.
These creative ideas. It just doesn't, you don't think about it. You're not doing that. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's God inside of you that's doing it. And it's just trying to figure out how to unlock it.
Right.
And the only way you can really unlock it is if you really just follow, follow God. Is just gonna open up. Like, and I literally see it.
Yes.
And I wasn't even. when I was doing everything, it wasn't like I didn't even call it anything. I didn't call it like a journey or anything like that. I'm like, I'm just gonna practice sobriety, working out, and the Bible. That's it. And then now, like, since I had posted the video,
Hmm.
I had no idea that it was gonna go as viral as it did. And so now I'm like,
Mm,
like maybe I could be like more open with people on the internet, because for a long time I kind of just really just shut it out.
right.
I don't know. I was just like, let me just try these things, because in the past I would like, okay, just read the Bible, but I wouldn't work out and practice sobriety, or I would like practice sobriety and not read the Bible and work
Yes.
out and not do the other three. So I'm like, I'm gonna combine all these three, because you got
Wow.
to think about it like this: we are adults. Nobody can tell you what to do but
Hmm.
yourself.
Yes.
Like yourself tell you to get up and go work and do this and do that. Like this is your own mind. So it's like you have to almost discipline yourself
Hmm.
to see if you can be on time and you can be prompt and be more militant,
Right.
and practice solitude and really be by yourself and sit in it, and really like figure out like who you are and what is it, like what's going on. Because at some point, you'll reach like your max, your cap, right?
Right.
And if you're doing this all by yourself, like no help from like God and things like that, you're not praying on your knees every day because you already have everything. Because the devil, the way it works is like he'll give you everything.
That's it.
Like he like lit, you know what I'm saying? And then lit. And then the moment that you try to start to do right, here
Hmm.
comes all the extras, and you're like, well,
Yeah.
when I was doing messed up stuff, nothing ever happened.
Uh-huh.
Duh. Duh. So it does make sense now, because
Right.
like the devil, like if you're doing messed up things, you never get in trouble. Moment you start trying to do right things or whatever, here comes the extras, because the devil gonna send people, they gonna try to attack your finances,
Yes.
then yourself, and then if you got a like boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse,
Hmm.
the workplace, it's like a cycle,
That's right.
and once
Every
you can
which
figure out
way.
every which way, and then once you can figure out the cycle, and you're like, oh, okay, I already know where this is coming from. And then it's like I can almost predict like what's the next thing. And it's like I'm not even gonna let it bother me, but just know it's gonna be a continuous
Right.
attack. So
Attack.
you just gotta have you gotta have your guards up,
Hmm.
you know what I mean, and be fully equipped. And then you'll be good. It's like putting on a seatbelt.
Yes, I love that. And I love how you mentioned, like, discipline comes when you're in your word. People like to say, but how do you do it? How do you stay focused? And it's that is the discipline keeps you focused
Mm-hmm.
when you're in your
Mm-hmm.
word. Your word keeps you sharp and eyes of discernment from the attacks of the enemy. So it's going to be like, yo, your finances are going to get hit up next. But you know what? Faith allows us to believe that it's all good because God has something bigger for us and greater for us. And what
And it
moves us and covered 100%, right?
and it always come through right at the right
Right.
moment, like at the right second. Like literally, like some stuff just went down with me, and I'm like, you know what I mean?
Yes,
I'm like, nah, I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good. And then also too, you gotta like use your common sense too.
that's
So I
it.
start putting stuff together, put stuff together. I'm like, okay, good. So I'm good. I'm like, phew.
That is
Yeah, that's how
amazing.
it is. Yeah,
He always comes through. I love that about our God.
every time.
All the time,
Yeah.
never fails. So, one of the things I wanted to ask you, because I know as we were talking, the attacks come when we're trying to walk right with the Lord. That happens. That's a given. Have you had to face any unforgiveness in your life? Because I know recently I had to, and I know that I was holding on to this unforgiveness, but it was blocking my blessings. And the
Mhm.
moment that I chose to forgive and the way I did it, the person obviously tried to flip it on me and made it about me. But I knew not to
Yeah,
defend
not
myself.
yeah,
I was like, God
right.
got me. This is about me. But I just got to be obedient. And so I chose to forgive. How do you feel like that works for you?
Honestly, for me, it's always worked. Like I've always been a forgiving person
Mm,
every time. Even when people do like the craziest stuff, say the craziest stuff, I
mhm.
like literally look at them, forgive and forget. And I keep it pushing, because like if it was any other way, I wouldn't have made it this far
Right.
for sure. Like for sure. Mm-mm. And like when I meet new people too, like I give everybody like the fair opportunity. I'm not like jaded by like things or like characteristics and things like that until like you do something to me, or if I could visibly see that, okay, no, this ain't right. And then most of the time my energy, like if I'm around somebody and I gotta kind of like tilt my head like, huh?
Yeah.
That you're not a good person for me. If I'm like this, oh hi, and I be like, oh,
The
like
head
like
tilt
I'm good.
comes out. The head tilt comes out. I don't
Oh no,
think
no,
so.
I'm good. I'm good. Have a great day.
I love that.
Great, great the one for me. I could just tell off the rip.
Yeah, yeah. But I feel you like, it's needed to grow because at the end of the day, it's like if we choose not to, and I know it's hard for a lot of people, like how you're able to do it, that's a blessing because not everyone is able to. Like, I think, yes, we're called obviously to forgive. People are going to mess up. That's that sense of compassion, right? Knowing that we're human and people mess up. People mess up because of their past. They haven't fixed themselves. And when we're compassionate, we see past the moment and if the moment of who they are, right? And kind of think back like, wow, they must have had a hard upbringing. This is why they're acting like this. And it just gives that sense of compassion. But it's still hard, because we're also human.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like after 18, like just start holding yourself accountable, and like we don't want to hear the victim stuff.
That's right.
Like for me, I don't like you're an adult. You could pick and choose. Right is right, wrong is wrong.
Mhm.
Like we all understand like people go through things and things like that, but it's like at the same time like you still have a choice
Right.
after a certain age. I'll give you up to 24, that's fine.
Yeah.
No, I'll give it up because it's like 24 is like, all right, you definitely know
Yes.
like what's going on. 18, you just getting out of high school, like I
Right,
think I'm grown.
right.
24, you know what's up.
Yeah. Right, right, right. And,
Yeah.
and stop with the victim mentality. I love that. And it's
Right. I
yeah,
don't want to hear that. Like, and it's like now you just choosing to do it. You know
right.
what I mean? We do have a choice.
Exactly.
And that's the problem. Is like people make it feel like we don't have a choice. Everybody has a choice.
True.
Is either you want to sit in it and stay in it and be miserable and make everybody else around you miserable, block your blessings instead of going out there, fixing yourself, healing yourself, figuring out what it is that's the issue. Because if you're the issue and everybody's saying the same thing, then you're definitely the issue. You know what I mean? It can't be everybody. And yeah, that's my philosophy.
I love that. And I hope whoever's listening can be encouraged by that because guess what? Even if you come across 1,000 people who have compassion, at the end of the day, that's not changing you. And you are responsible to change yourself, regardless of your past, your present, and what you're dealing with. You have a choice to make. And it's like, I'm going to be better for me and then for those around me. But that victim mentality is only going to take you but so far and then keep you oppressed. So I'm hoping whoever's watching it, that was a word for someone because, it's real life and people truly
Yeah.
have that.
Yeah, and then because what happens is you're gonna meet, and if you continue to play victim, right, you're gonna meet and run across people that want to help you.
Right,
You get what I'm saying? And if you don't accept the help, you know what you do? That person goes on to the next person so that they can get that compassion and that. You
right,
get what I'm saying from the next person.
right,
But that means you're gonna be going from person to person to person to person. That's exhausting.
right.
And then you're gonna get stuck in this mindset of a spiral, like whereas though you're gonna stay right here.
Hmm.
You're not gonna be able to branch off because you're telling the same story over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Right,
You know
right.
what I mean?
That's good. Good stuff, boo. Good stuff. Well, I have one last thing for you. I would
Okay.
love for you to share with us how are you living fiercely blessed today?
I am I am makeup free. I'm in my home. I'm safe. I woke up with a smile on my face. I get to have really beautiful conversations with you as yourself.
Thank you.
And congratulations on your almost 1 year sobriety, right?
Thank you. Yes.
1 year sobriety, like that takes a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
Yep.
Like, I'm proud of you. Like,
Thank
you
you.
should,
Boom.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, like, honestly, like, I'm. I guess that's really it, really,
Yeah.
that I can like think of right now.
Yeah. No, that was great. I love that. And it's those little things. Like I woke up with a smile on my face. It doesn't always have to be these grand gestures to make us blessed. Those small little moments of like, I got up today, I moved my legs, I was able to smile. So I love that you said that. Thank you so much for joining Fiercely Blessed. I hope you enjoyed my conversation today with the beautiful Angela White. What an inspiration she is. I know I felt so inspired listening to all her feedback and her journey in itself. So thank you again for being part of it. If you want to see more, please make sure you follow us and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can find us on YouTube, Fiercely Blessed, also on Spotify and on Apple. Follow us, comment, and subscribe. We couldn't do it without your support, so please continue to look for us and follow us, and we can wait to be back here with you again. Thank you so much.